Man, I think I just swallowed a bug. It's been a minute since we've been out here to the pile where we got to take all of that mixture of dirt and weeds and everything, run it through our strainer, and end up with some topsoil. And the reason is we've been real busy out here, and also we had a wet early summer, so everything was kind of too wet to sift. But now we're dry. We're really dry, basically in a drought. But for today, I'm going to be in the shaded area here at the front of the property, and I just want to get this pile knocked out. I don't know if I'll be able to do it all today because it's a pretty big pile. That took me several hours to do that a few weeks ago. So that's probably 3 times the size. So there's a lot of back and forth with the tractor, a lot of scooping, sifting, moving the sifter. But I'm gonna take a stab at it and see how much I can get done. The last video I did on this, I was running the tractor naked with no implement behind it. And it works fine that way, but when the bucket is full of some, wet dirt, it gets pretty heavy. And it'll make the back of the tractor a little bit light. And it's just better if you have more ballast. Now the tires on the back of the Kubota are filled with rim guard, so that helps out a bit. But today I've got an additional 420 pounds of weight hanging off this GoodWorks tractor quick hitch, and also the weight of the quick hitch itself. So I've got more weight than before, so I shouldn't have any problem with lifting the dirt and moving things around as far as the rear of the tractor getting a little light. This has been run through the screen a couple times, and I came through here a week or so ago and I picked out all of the big limbs and I chopped them up with the wood chipper, so I got more wood chips decomposing there on the pile. But this is pretty clean, but I ran it through the screen 2, 3, maybe some of it 4 times, and I'll probably run it through again now that it's been rained on, just to get as much dirt as possible out of it. And then I'll take what's left of these sticks and everything, and then I'll leave them piled up and let them decompose. And, in a year or so, there'll be something I can put in the garden or use for landscaping or something. I don't know how these weeds are living. It is so dry. That didn't take long at all, just a few buckets across there. Got some pretty clean sticks, but there is some moisture in that dirt, so some of it's sticking to the sticks. I'll run that through again though. But look at that. I think 3 bucket loads and I've got this much of clean soil. I mean, nice. For Florida, that's rich soil. It holds together a little bit, so it's got some organic matter to help hold it together instead of just flowing loosely like sand granules. Came out real nice. In just a few minutes, I've already got to move the screen. All this brownish stuff here is everything I just screened, as opposed to that stuff that was here already. So now I got to move the screen, and I think I'm going to process this because it's nice and dry and get it cleaner. And that way it'll condense this pile down, and that's what I just got to keep doing, is getting more and more dirt out of this pile so that it's like predominantly wood and way less dirt in it. And also, once I condense this pile, I have more room to work, because if I keep pushing the screen that way, I'll run out of room. I don't have a lot of room now. I'm going to try and position the screen in a way that anything that's screened out, I can just push into the pile, put the screen back over here, and screen it again. Now this screen comes with wheels, and I used to wheel it around a lot, but then I learned that I can just pick it up easy with the bucket. I just get in here real deep with it, tilt my bucket back. The screen is very well built, so I can just do whatever I want with it with the bucket. I think what I'll do is just put it up against the pile, and that way any wood will go into the pile, and then I can screen it again. There we go. This is a little harder to pick up because it's full of sticks. Let's see how much dirt we can get out of this. We've already screened this once this morning. I tried to drop the dirt at the top of the screen so it has the whole length of the screen to filter out. The amount of reduction is just amazing to me. So we had that big pile of once screened or twice screened logs here, and I picked out the big ones, but the rest of them are on the other side of the screen, and that's it. Out of that big pile, that's what's left after they've been screened another time. And I probably have 3 buckets of screened dirt here, and I probably already put 3 buckets on there, all from the pile of logs that was here. And I keep emphasizing that because this looks like just a big waste pile of dirt. But that's very valuable dirt there. That is, I would say, better than any topsoil you could buy, and probably just one notch below like true compost. And that is $300 or $400 a truckload. I just paid $40 a scoop for compost. And I would say the scoop on the tractor that dumped the compost was probably twice as big as my Kubota bucket here, and that was $40. So let's just say it's $15 a scoop for my Kubota. There's a lot of $15 scoops right there. So in addition to cleaning up our property, I just think about all of the money savings for us, because we have so much landscaping to do and so many more raised beds we need to fill in the garden. So again, big pile here. Don't know that I'll get through it in this video because I've just started and I've already gotten, a dump truck load of dirt out of this. I'm having an absolute blast out here. Sometimes I just forget to stop and record something, but I've got a sizable pile here now because deep in the pile it's wet. Not like soggy wet, but wet enough that the dirt wants to stick to the sticks. So the drier it is, the better it sifts. So I exposed this side, and I want to show you something here. So I'm 6 foot tall, so this thing is 9-10 foot tall, but this is the center of the pile. And this pile was all wood, like wood trunks, mainly pine, and branches and pine needles just pushed up because I didn't have a grapple at the time, and I couldn't really clean the material that I was putting on the pile. So it was pushed up, but it was probably, at least 50% wood material. And now this is all broke down. I wouldn't say it's hot in here like the middle of a compost pile, but it's definitely warm. And I guess the lack of it being hot is no oxygen could get in here. But all of this right here is like perfect garden soil, perfect soil to put around our house for landscaping. And I was expecting more sticks in here. There are sticks in here, but for the most part, like this one, they've decayed. And when the bucket hits that, it usually breaks it apart. When it rolls across the screen, it just becomes wood chips that are inside of the, or that become part of the soil. Just awesome, man. I'm just having a blast and loving what I'm seeing in the center of this pile. So we've grown that pile substantially. I don't know that we've doubled it, but it's a lot bigger. And here's the stick pile. There's some sizable chunks that were in there that didn't rot, and they're wet and starting to decay, but they are not by any means like gonna break down anytime soon. And then we have pieces of cedar in there that just aren't gonna break down at all. This long pine trunk was in there and it started to break down, but nothing like some of the stuff like this that's been in here for 7 years or so. It's the middle of the day now. I've got all day to dedicate to it, but at some point you just kind of get tired of going back and forth and doing loader work. I know people do it all day for a living, and I love doing it, don't get me wrong, but it's not something I want to do for 12 hours today. So we'll keep chipping away at it and keep you guys updated on the progress, but couldn't be more pleased. And if you're interested in this screener, it came from the site. I'll put the information down below. I don't want to get it wrong. I think it's around $3,000 shipped to you, something like that. But that thing, if you have any kind of material like we have here that you want to separate, otherwise that's just trash. What are you going to do with it? Push it off in the woods and let it rot? But I turned that trash into treasure over here, and I couldn't have done it without this screen. I think it's 1 inch by 4 inches long. And there's some squares here, I guess, to make it stronger. And I've got multiple screens so I can screen smaller stuff, like to get pebbles and stuff out. But this screen right here has been working great on this topsoil. So I think I have my system nailed down here to get the cleanest sticks possible. And that's the whole goal here, is to knock off as much beneficial dirt as I can off of all these sticks. So I go into the virgin pile and then get a scoop and put it on the screen. And you yield close to 1 scoop of clean dirt per 1 scoop of dirt with sticks in it, but not quite, just a little bit less. So I do that until it gets full underneath the screen, and then I pull that dirt out, put it on the pile, and like I said, it's around 1 to 1. So if I put, let's say, 6 scoops through the screen until the screen gets too backed up, I can't do it anymore, then I'll probably get about 5 scoops of dirt, 4 to 5 scoops of dirt, put that over there. Then I move the screen back over to the main pile, and then I take those sticks here that aren't quite clean because they've rolled off of the screen too fast, or maybe they're clumpy, a little bit too much moisture, or whatever reason it is, then I take them and I rescreen them. And this is what they look like over here, is the second screening of them. And I would say that yield is about 3 to 1. So 3 buckets of the rescreenings gets you 1 bucket of clean dirt. And that's them right here. I'll show them to you up real close. So this is the virgin dirt, or the dirt that has the sticks embedded in it. That yields pretty high. And then these get rescreened. And these are a lot cleaner. There's still some dirt in there, but they're a lot cleaner. And they're about 3 to 1. And then I move the screen back over there. And then I'll grab these that have been screened twice so far. And they'll get mixed in with the virgin dirt. And they'll get screened for a 3rd time. And by that point, they've dried off a bit, they've been knocked around a bit, and they get a lot cleaner. And you may say, well, that's a lot of work or a lot of redundancy, but the ultimate goal is to get as much of that dirt as possible and make that pile as small as possible. Now that's still going to have some dirt in it. We'll let that sit there. The rain will wash on it, wash it down, it'll decay or whatever, and we'll screen that, 6 months or a year from now. But the goal is to get them clean as possible today and end up with this. And there are very, very few sticks in there that get through, and they probably just fall over top of the bucket. But other than that, there's none there that can't go directly in the garden. I'm taking a little break here because I wanted to show you guys something that really excites me. And I was just talking to my buddy Chad Doss over at Doss Farms, and I told him, I said, it probably excites me on a level way higher than it should. Well, what's left of the pile, I've been making a lot of progress. I want to kind of save it till the end for the final or the finale. But in the bottom here are some pine trees that were 14 to 18 inches in diameter. And they've been buried under here for 7 years. And 7 years is significant because that's when we bought Piney Grove. And they haven't really had any oxygen, but they've had moisture. And I guess the termites and stuff were able to get in here a little bit. But just look at what nature has done to this wood. It's just created this crumbly, moist organic matter. And this is what's changing our soil out here. This is what I'm so excited about. And this is why largely this soil, it may look a little sandy on camera, but if you take away where the dry part is from the sun, it is dark black. And it's all been stained by the decomposition of that wood. And to me, that's exciting. I mean, I know it's no big deal. It's dirt. Some people have literally 3 feet of topsoil, like in Kansas and stuff, but we don't out here. Our topsoil is thin. And when we can, you know, turn sand into something that's usable, something that's going to have nutrients in it, and just reclaim it, it's exciting to me. So thought I'd share that with you. Time to get back on the tractor. Okay, so I am looking at how much work I got done, and before I give you the grand reveal, did you think I was going to get it done? So it's about 4:30. I've probably been working on it, let's say 6 hours or so, and a lot off camera. I'll show you what we got. Okay, there is the finished pile, or the sifted pile, and there's the tractor, so you can see how big that pile is. And then in front of the tractor, we have the spoils. And this last set here, I didn't re-sift. And here is what's left of that giant pile. The camera's sitting up on the hill. It's a little elevated, so it's gonna take it a little bit out of perspective, but I'm 6 foot tall, and this pile is 6 foot tall, I would say. And then this way, it might be 20 feet long. And you can see the width of it over here, maybe 15 feet wide. And that, actually this pile used to go all the way over to the logs over there. So that's how much this pile has shrunk. But let me set the camera up here and show you the sifted dirt. Okay, I got you on wide angle. And again, I'm 6 foot tall, and that's probably 3 foot taller than me. So that's probably 9 foot tall, and it's round instead of oblong like that one. So it's probably 20 feet wide and then mounded in the top. So I'm going to walk up here, and it's a little fluffy because it's been sifted, but here's what a full-grown man looks like on top of this pile. It is impressive. We've gotten a lot of dump truck loads, 20-ton dump truck loads of gravel out here. So I know bulk-wise what a 20-ton dump truck can handle or can bring to you. And as I look at this, I think it's 4 20-ton truckloads. Again, it may not be the weight, but the volume-wise, I think it would take 4 of those big trucks to haul this off, if not more. And then there's probably at least 2 more loads over there. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. Piney Grove would not be what it is today if it wasn't for you guys out there watching our videos, clicking that like button, subscribing, and otherwise supporting us. We appreciate it from the bottom of our heart. Many of you have become like close friends to us. And again, we just appreciate it and appreciate all of the blessings that it brings, having great supporters like you. But until next time, y'all take care out there. And remember, life's short, tractor hard. Check out these 2 videos right here. They're pretty cool too. Catch you on the next one, guys.